Hey all, in this video let's look at something called ASCII smuggling. This technique has gained some recent attention due to its applicability in LLM prompt injections. Let's look at what it is in this video. And before we move into that, an important disclaimer. This video is strictly for educational purposes and to raise awareness around this topic. All the resources I'll be testing this exploit on are my own, and if you have to pen test other people's resources, you need their explicit consent. If you don't, then it is illegal and is punishable by law, and it's also not a good human behavior. Yep. So that's an important thing to have in mind. And without any further delay, let's look into what this ASCII smuggling exploit is and how it is relevant to LLMs and vibe coding in particular. To understand this technique, we can look at this original RFC proposal for language tagging in Unicode text. The relevant part for us is a bit further down in the document, so let's scroll down. In the proposal, we can see an interesting part in the UTF-8 segment. Basically, this range in Unicode is reserved for tag characters of the ASCII characters themselves. So we can think of them as clone characters. And the key points to remember here are if an application is tag unaware, that is, it cannot process or render tag characters in the Unicode block, then it will be treated as hidden characters, whereas LLMs will be able to process them as the equivalent ASCII characters they represent. So technically, it should be possible to sneak past human eyes and poison an LLM's system prompt or instructions by using these tag characters. This could facilitate other chained exploits like placing a backdoor in the wipe coded applications or exfiltrating data from these applications and so on. I'm using this tool from Embrace the Red to encode my text into its equivalent Unicode tag blocks. I'm keeping this demonstration simple just to see how far we can get with this trivial prompt injection in an agentic coding tool like Cursor. Let's paste our payload into the .cursor rules file. Whatever we place here will be included in our request to the LLM. So this IDE's editor is tag unaware. That's why we don't see anything rendered even though I have pasted the payload already. This aspect adds a bit of stealth to this technique. Let's see if we can make the LLM to act on these stealthy bit of instructions. To keep things simple, I'm going to wipe code a landing page for a fintech using the agentic mode. I can see that it picked up other normal visible rules such as using yellow color and shared CNUI. Not sure why we need Node or TypeScript for a landing page, but we are just vibing, so let's go with the LLM's flow. I will accept all the changes. Produced a working page with all other rules but didn't take in the hidden rules. Let's see if we can force it to pick up the rule. One way to force it is to make the LLM look into the rules file once again. Let's do that. This time it picked up the Unicode tag block, as we can see from its response about adding telemetry to HTML files. I'm going to persist this injection into the chat session by making a sentence that would semantically mean missing the instructions was a problem. My hope is that it will make the LLM incorporate our hidden rule in the next back and forth without us having to force it to read this every time during this session. Now it's proceeding to create a Next.js project for creating a landing page, which is a huge overkill and definitely off track. But let's indulge for a while before we course correct. Let's course correct the LLM. And my hope is during this time, our external script will be embedded automatically into every HTML file. Let's see if that's the case. It is indeed the case, and this time the LLM has incorporated our hidden instructions. Let's look at the output in the browser. The script got executed, which is to say that our hidden instruction was picked up by the LLM. Now, this is a very minimal demo, but we can imagine the impact if we can chain multiple techniques like obfuscation and encryption. Also, if the rule file is committed to a remote repository that accepts contributions from anyone, like in an open source project, this can easily become an attack surface. So, to mitigate against these risks, If you're building an application that sends data from the outside world to the LLM, always strip these Unicode tag blocks. Probably the LLM doesn't need to process these characters. If you're vibe coding, then have an eye out for what the LLM agent is producing. And please do not vibe your way to production.